What's up, everybody out there on YouTube? This is Matt Dillon here today, and what I plan on doing today is doing a little review on a Glock 44. It is Glock's new 22 pistol that they introduced about a month and a half ago here in early 2020. And what I want to do is just let you guys know my honest opinion about it. Let you guys know what I think about it. This is in no shape, form, or fashion endorsing the buying, selling, or modifying, or anything of a pistol. And it was hard for me to even come to do this video. But I've read the rules on YouTube, and I have read them and read them and read them and thought and thought and thought. So I'm going to try to do this to the best of my abilities and not upset nobody. But this is Matt Dillon's review on the Glock 44. Okay, what is the Glock 44? The Glock 44 is a 22 pistol that Glock introduced. First thing is, pull it off the table. I'm going to go ahead, pull back the slide, make sure that the firearm is safe. There is no bullet, cartridge, anything in the chamber of this firearm. A lot of people just looks at it as a 22 pistol. A lot look at it like, well, Glock finally made a 22 pistol. Well, when they made this pistol, they had a few key points that they wanted to hit on, and that was accuracy, dependability, and they wanted it to be a training firearm for the very popular G19. The G19 is a 9mm firearm that Glock has had for a while now, and it is one of their most popular sellers. So they based the Glock 44 after the G19 as not only a 22 but a training companion for somebody that has a Glock 19. It's supposed to be same size, same length, same everything. And what we're going to do today is we're actually going to compare the two. And I'm going to tell you guys my opinion about the firearm. I've had it now for roughly a month, give or take. A little bit over, a little bit under a month, somewhere in that ballpark. And I've ran close to 500 rounds through it. And what I'm seeing out of it right now, I do. I like it, and I think it's a fun little pistol to shoot. I think it's fun to get out there and shoot, and it doesn't break the bank. 9mm ammo isn't high by no means compared to some, but the 22 is cheaper than the 9mm. So I have my Glock 44 that I purchased, and I have a Glock 19. Now I'm going to be on camera, drop bag, it's clear. I actually did not have a holster for the Glock 19, so I actually purchased one over the weekend to carry the Glock 44. Everyone is saying that they are the same exact thing, same exact size. So I went out and I purchased a little holster. Glock 19. Glock 19 fits in it. Fits in it, does good, a little bit of a wobble, but it's locked in. Upside down, shaky, not coming out until you push that button. As soon as you push that button, you can pull it out. Glock 44, same thing. Fits in there, a little bit of wiggle, but that's okay. It's not coming out there. It's just like the Glock 44, or the Glock 19, I'm sorry. So, if you want to buy a holster, if you want to get something that's for the 44, look into things that's related to the Glock 19. Because as far as size, they are very similar. Very similar. First thing, I do have a little cheat sheet. I have a little cheat sheet with a couple things from each firearm, and we're going to compare them a little bit. The barrel length. The barrel length on the 44 is 4.2 inches. The barrel on the G19 is 4.2 inches. So they're exactly the same barrel length there. Trigger pull. Now the trigger pull is, I actually looked this up on the Glock website, but the trigger pull for the G44, which is the 22, is 26 newtons. And for the G19 is 28 newtons. Now I don't know if they're talking about a certain generation of the G19, or if they're just talking about the newest G19, or what they're going off of on that, because there is multiple generations of the G19, and I'm not familiar with a lot of the history of a G19, but there's a little bit of a difference there. What that boils down to in poundage, the 44 is 5.85 pounds of trigger pull. The G19 is 6.29 pounds. So it does, the 9mm G19 does have a little bit more of a trigger pull than the 22. Now, this is where the factor comes into play. This is the weight of each firearm loaded. Fully loaded, magazine's full. This is what the weight is between the two. The G44 is 16.40 ounces. So it's just barely a speck over a pound. And the G19 is 30.16 ounces. So it's about 2 pounds. Now, give and take a little bit here and there. You're looking at half the weight difference, which you're talking about ammo also. 9mm is going to weigh more than the 22. You got to throw that in consideration. And the G19 is holding a 15 rounds in the magazine, whenever the 44 is holding 10. The magazines are very similar. They're the same size. From what I've looked up, if you use belt holsters for magazines, you can use the Glock 44 in a Glock 19 magazine pouch, holster, however, whatever you want to say. So that's also a plus. Now on the Glock 44, it actually comes with a 10 round magazine. It does not have 15 rounds like the G19. Now I say if you have regulations and stuff, the G19, you probably can only have a 10 round magazine in it anyways to be legal. But here in Kentucky where I live, there isn't a regulation on the magazine law that I'm aware of. Back to the G44, 10 round magazine, it does good. It's not your normal load, like when you're loading it. It's actually got, if you guys can see here, I'll bring it in a little closer to you guys. If you can see there, it actually has a little slide right there, and you can see the spring and everything, but you'll actually slide that down as you load it. I'm pushing that on the back side for you guys to see the front, but you would take your thumb and index to slide the slide down to load it. The only thing is that as far as bad things that I've came in encounter with the 44 is the magazine is whenever you fully load it, if you put that last round in there, you want to make sure that round is pointing upward. Sometimes, I don't know if it's a certain angle that I hold it or not. I haven't really fooled with it enough to figure out what I'm doing to cause it or what's causing the problem. But the round will actually kick forward like that, and it's coming more in contact with that little piece right there. And whenever you go to rack it back, and whenever you go to load a round into the chamber, it's actually hitting that piece right there, and it's causing it to jam. That's the only problem, but I've become self-conscious of that, and I've actually been, whenever I load my magazines, I'm actually making sure that it's laying the right way. Can't really say it's a problem. You'll get used to it. It ain't nothing really that big. It might be error on my fault. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really fooled with it that much. But let's talk about the differences here. The Glock 19, anybody that has a Glock, is familiar with the setup. I'm not gonna disassemble these on camera because I reckon that's a big no-no. But I will show you the parts disassembled apart to show you the differences. If it takes or makes any sense whatsoever. So I'm gonna do that off camera, and I'm gonna bring them back in pieces and show you the differences. Glock 19, full metal slide. Very common. You see that in every Glock handgun. Until now. Glock 44, 22. Polymer slide. Now don't get it twisted around though. They know what they're doing. Promise. They know what they're doing. Polymer slide, but if you can look right here, if you can see that right there, that's metal. So what it pretty much is everything on the inside of this slide is metal, the contacted points and everything, but the frame of it is polymer. Now, would I trust shooting, a 357 SIG through it or a 10 millimeter through a polymer slide? I'd start wondering about it at that point. But in a 22 LR, I don't see a problem with it. These guys have legitly put these through the test. These guys have put these things through the test. They have put them through multiple tests, and they know what they're doing. They know polymer. If they know anything, they know polymer. That's what their lower of every pistol that they've made is made out of. And they have a couple of 44s over there in their like warehouse, building, headquarters, whatever. They have 2 or 3 over there that they fired thousands of rounds through without anything. I think they've even got one over there that's got multiple thousand rounds that they've not even cleaned, that they just want to shoot until see how long it takes before it starts jamming. As far as the polymer, there might be people out there that will not buy a gun that has a polymer slide. Me, I did, and I have it. Right there it is. I trust it. As far as it comes down to it, I'm pretty big on my Glocks. But I will not lie. If there's something that I do not like, I'll tell you the truth. I mean, that's just how it goes. I love Glock firearms, but if there is something that comes through that I don't like, I will tell you about it. I have shot probably close to 500 rounds, like I said before, and I've had just a couple of jams and stovepipes. But it's a brand new pistol. It's not broken yet. I mean, if it is broken, it's just now getting broken with 500 rounds. The way I look at it, that's my opinion. But most of them was my fault with the magazine, like I was telling you. But I figured it out. Now I do want to talk about the accuracy on this. This is straight iron sights, and this is standard sights. This is just factory Glock sights that come on it. That's one thing I don't like. I don't like Glock sights. I never have, never have. Don't know why. The first thing I do as soon as I get a Glock that's new to me is change the sights out on it. That's just my personal preference. But they do serve a purpose, and I have got pretty good with it with the stock sights. This little target right here is what I was actually shooting at. I didn't shoot all 500 rounds at this, but I did put a pretty good amount of rounds downrange towards this target. Now this was out, I put this out 20, 25, 30 yards away. Now this was new. This was new before I started with this. But I flipped it around, shot at it, flipped it around, shot at it. And you can see, if you look at it, I'm hitting left. Like I said, this is a new handgun to me. I'm not going to blame this on hit, by no means. I'm going to blame this on me not being familiar with it, or I might have been holding the trigger the wrong way. I've been putting the tip of my finger on the trigger instead of the middle pad of my finger. I tried my best to take my time and really get good and honed in with this pistol. But for what I did and how much I've shot so far, I feel like I'm pretty decent with it so far. I like it. 30 yards is, I mean, for a pistol, especially it having a 4-inch barrel. You think about it, you got 4 inches of barrel, 30 yards, and then you're looking at a target that's a square essentially, that's 2 inches by 2 inches, and then they spun it to make a diamond that's 3 inches wide. So there's my palm. I have small hands. And that's the target in my palm of my hand. 30 yards. If I'm hitting there, that's good to me. That is good to me. Um, that's excellent. I mean, honestly, that takes a little bit of know-how. 2 yards. Now, I ain't gonna say that I'm the best of the best. I'm far from it. There's people out there that can make me look like a fool, and that's just honest to God truth about it. But these firearms do break down the same exact way. It breaks down. The 44 breaks down just like any other Glock. I'm not gonna show you how. I hate that, but rules are rules. But it breaks down the exact same. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually going to take these apart. I don't think you guys can see what I'm doing. Nope. Okay. So you guys can't see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna disassemble these, and then I'm gonna show you the difference as in far as in parts. But as far as the pistol goes itself, they are very, very reasonably priced. For a new firearm, I think that it was priced very well. I'm not going to talk about pricing. You can look that up or whatever. But I'm not going to talk about the pricing and actually what it is or whatever. I don't know if there's a rule against that or not, but I think it's reasonably priced for what it is. Okay, so then, I've not showed you guys how to disassemble that. Okay, so essentially, right here is the 44 slide. As you can see, it's polymer. Right there's polymer. That's polymer. That sides are polymer. And you've got the metal brace. The metal brace, if you look on this side, is actually where it is touching. Where it's touching the lower half, the frame, the glide rails, whatever you want to call it. As far as the parts of it, you're looking at not a spitting image, but very, very, very close to the same parts. If I just go like this, hold these up, the only way that you're going to know the difference is by the polymer. Right there's the 44. You can hold these bad boys right beside each other. You can look at them every which way, and they are so similar. Like I said, same setup. There's a couple minor changes, this and that, whatever. But if you are into Glocks, you're gonna know every one of these parts whenever you take it apart. Barrels. You can tell a difference there. The 22, of course, is smaller, but as far as the rest of it, the got a fuzz on it. As far as that, like the lugs and stuff, they're a little bit different. The feed ramp is a little bit more pronounced on the 22, which I mean, it's a smaller round to feed up. So I say that's exactly what it needed to function. Barrel smaller. There is one thing though. I ain't gonna put nobody on blast. I ain't gonna say nobody's name. But I actually watched a YouTube video of before I even purchased this. He actually got it early, and he was saying that the barrel was fixed on the 44, on the 22, and it's not. It's not a fixed barrel, guys. It's just like the 9mm. It breaks loose and it kicks up and does everything. As far as the recoil spring, the recoil springs, same little sweet design. My mat has got fuzzies all over it, and I apologize for that. But the springs, same design. They've got multiple springs for the recoil. Um, two, three, two, three springs in a pack. That's going in it. As far as the bottom frame, honestly, I'm gonna have to look at a couple of these parts to put it back together. I mean, they just look so alike. But the lug, the lock and lug, the lock and lug is different. The one on the 22 is smaller than the 9mm one. Um, as far as the trigger assembly is the same. I mean, if there is a difference in the trigger assembly, which I haven't even broke down the 44 all the way yet. I haven't broke down into the trigger assembly and all that good stuff yet. But from what I saw, what I broke down, this is as far as I've got it right here, is as far as I've took it. I'm not going to break it on down until I get it good and broke in with the break-in grease and everything that's on it. It looks the same. I mean, everything is matching up. Everything is matching up. You know, the extractor pin is a little bit different. You know, it's not as beefy as the 19, but other than that, it's the same. Now then, there is one difference that I just now noticed on this. Now the 19 is a 4th gen. It's not a 5th gen, and the 44 is based off of a 5th gen. I'm not too familiar with the 5th gens just yet, but I'm not going to say what it is. It's a pin, you know. 4th gen has 3 pins. I'm just going to let you look at that. I'm not going to tell you nothing about the pins. I just now noticed that the Glock 44 has 2 pins. It has 2 pins. I'm not going to point them out or nothing because, you know, whatever. That's whatever. But, you know, if you know, you know. If you don't, look up Glock pins. But, I didn't know that. I have a 3rd generation 17, and it's got 2 pins. And, I did not know that. I did not know that it was a 2-pin design, and I didn't know they strayed away from that 3-pin design on it. Actually, you know what? Leave a comment. Leave a comment down there in the bottom if you do know on the 5th gens. If you know, is it a 2 or a 3-pin setup? That's a good question. I really don't know. I don't own a 5th gen. The only 5th gen things that I own is a 44, a Glock 44, which is it, and a Glock 43. But, you know, as far as a 19 or 17 or any of their normal handguns that they normally have had over the years, I don't know. So, answer that in the comments. Also, while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, if you like this video and you like the stuff that I'm putting out there, like, subscribe, tell your friends, throw it out there, make a sticker, put it on the back of your car. I'm starting out. I'm just now starting out, but I'm liking this. This is a fun hobby for me. I can't really do firearm videos like I would like to. Like I said, it actually took me a whole lot to even make a firearm video, mainly due to the fact of how YouTube's got with firearm videos. I mean, that's their rules, you know, this is going on their website, so you have to go by their rules. You know, it is what it is. But I am from Kentucky, and I'm very gun friendly. Like me, myself, and I. I ain't gonna get into my beliefs, nothing about that, but I am pro-gun. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's see here. Let's talk about what it came with. It comes with 4 interchangeable back straps. A lot of people talk about, you know, one of the Glocks that their hands get up there and they might get slide by it. Slide comes back, goes forward, and it pinches your skin. Pinches your skin and bites it. That's what they call it, slide by. The beaver tails, they help with that. I really haven't even tried none of these out yet. Everything that I've done with it's just been hit completely straight out of the box. It comes with two magazines, two 10-round magazines. Comes with a lock to lock it up if you have any children or anybody around that isn't firearm, that isn't firearms, whatever, safe, whatever. If you feel like you need to put a lock on it, put a lock on it. Oh, there it is. I gave it to you, free. There it is, with keys. They got a cleaning rod. They got a cleaning rod and a cleaning brush, and the one that has the little slit in it for the rag to oil the barrel. There is actually a little tool in there that I have no idea what exactly it's for. I'm actually gonna have to look into that. That's something new to me that I have never seen. I thought it was like for a lock to make the gun not be able to function, but honestly, I have no idea what that is. It's like a little flat screwdriver with an Allen head on the back side of it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let's see if you can see it. Let's see if I can make this come into you to where you can see it right there. Oop, right there. Right there where my middle finger just raised up from. Lighting. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it or not. It comes with all that, and it comes with a sticker. I don't think I've ever seen a sticker come from a new Glock purchase. But it's pretty nifty. It's probably gonna go on the back of my truck. I put stickers on my truck from places that I go or things that I like, whatever. My whole thing, I just want to deck it out. Just deck it out with things I love. When I look back there, it's like, that's me. But it says Plink 44, start your journey. And it has a little crosshair and a little Glock on the bottom corner there. That's pretty neat, pretty unique, kind of, that's kind of something I ain't never seen before. It comes with, your normal Glock handbook, all that, and so forth. But I don't really know, as far as me, what I think about it, it's Glock on the Glock 44. It is a good training aid for a Glock 19. It is cheaper to shoot. It is accurate, in my opinion. I will get better with it, and in another video or something, I will probably bring it up on, how I'm doing with it, and what kind of distance I'm getting out of it, and what kind of size targets I'm hitting, how I'm doing with it. The polymer slide, that might bother some. It don't bother me. The main thing with the polymer slide, I want to scratch up on that a little bit more. The polymer slide, the whole thing with it is they didn't do it for it to be cool or to make the gun light or anything like that. They did it so that it would function. You get a 22 and you have to make the slide on it light for the 22 to actually make the blowback system work. If it's too heavy, the round would go off and it wouldn't work the action all the way for it to come back and get another round and put it back into the chamber. That was their main reason for doing it. Now, there is one little thing that I want to show you guys, and I have no idea about this. I haven't heard nobody talk about it. I haven't, nothing. There's a little square out there on top. Normally that would be where you would put a red dot. I don't know. I don't know if that's removable or if that's got something to do with a sight, maybe. I don't know. Now, of course, you're going to see these in competition, of course. You've got too many people out there that runs Glocks competitively, and so you're going to see competitive versions. I think they make one with a threaded barrel. The one I could be completely wrong, but what I'm pretty sure the American versions is a regular barrel, and you have to buy a threaded barrel separate, but you could have the choice between a threaded and a normal barrel across seas somewhere. Here's another thing. Me and a buddy was actually talking about this this weekend, but he was talking about the copper lubricant on a new Glock. Pretty much what it is, it's a break-in grease. It it pretty much polishes everything up in the slide and on the gun, and it's a break-in grease. It's not recommended to clean it off and just put normal grease on it because it might hang up and it might whatever. Pretty much it just polishes it out and breaks it in. It's a break-in grease. But he was telling me, I didn't know this, but he was telling me that they'd quit putting that on them after a while. And I don't know if that's true or if it's not true, or if he was just dealing with some people that, or if he was just dealing with people that was cleaning the guns. I mean, they might got it in, had it out, people's touching it, and for some reason they wanted to break it down and clean it out. I don't know. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. With the Glock 19, I purchased it new, and I shot 2 or 3 max through it, and brought it home, cleaned it real good, and I cleaned that copper grease out. It jammed. It did. It was jammed 4 or 5 times per magazine, and I was about to freak plumb out over the whole ordeal. But after a little research and everything, the copper grease is a break-in grease, and I wasn't supposed to take that off until I had plenty enough rounds through it. A little something to know. The 44 that I purchased had it in it. So if yours have it in it, keep it in there for a while. Keep it in there, let it polish everything up. You shouldn't have a problem with it. Like I said, I've shot. Now let's talk about the ammo that I've shot through this. I've shot every kind of ammo through this. I've shot a bunch of just cheap ammo, cheap bulk ammo, I guess you'd call it. You know, the 500 packs, 300 packs, and all that. I've shot 3 types of that. I've shot a couple higher dollar ones like the Stinger and the CCI and stuff like that. I've shot, all that. And I'm not endorsing anybody. I'm not endorsing any kind of ammunition out there. I'm just telling you what I shot. But I shot all of it. Now, the hotter the round, the more it seemed to like it. But as far as malfunction, didn't have a malfunction. I had 2 or 3 stovepipes there, and that was like the cheapest ammo and old ammo. And honestly, I was just shooting it just to get rid of it. I don't know if the stovepipes was because of the gun. Honestly, I'm gonna lean to old ammo on that. It only did it like 2 or 3 times. I shot a little bit hotter stuff in it, and it seemed like it was more accurate with the higher dollar ammunition, which is, of course, that's kind of given. So that's kind of where I'm wanting to get. I'm wanting to get to the point where I get pretty good with it, pretty accurate with it, then get some higher dollar ammo and actually stretch this thing out and see how good I can do. There've been a couple of YouTubers out there I've been noticing that's been squirrel hunting. I don't know how everybody feels about hunting, but I do. I hunt and I fish. I'm a very, very vivid outdoors man. I love the outdoors. I love everything about it. I respect nature though. There's a lot of people out there hunting squirrels with 22 pistols for the challenge, for the challenge of it. And honestly, that's cool. I like that. I mean, you give them a better chance, I guess, and you make it a little bit more difficult for yourself. But I'm not going to take a shot on an animal of any sort unless I know that I have a good, clean shot. That's how it goes with me. Good, clean shot. I will not squeeze that trigger unless, I have a good, clean shot. And, and I make sure, what's my background, what's past the target I'm shooting at. Which leads me into the next thing. I do plan on making more firearm related videos. I'm going to keep studying up on every kind of rule firearm related. But I do plan on making firearm videos, and I do plan on making a safety video. That's just something that I just want. That's something that I think 100% of Americans should know. Even if you're 100% against guns, let's just say something crazy and wild happens. I don't know. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in your life, but You know, most people that's against guns haven't really messed with guns, but you know, if they ever had to touch a gun or mess with a gun or you know safely get a gun away or whatever, I don't want to be safe about it. That's my whole argument on the whole gun ordeal. As long as you're safe about it, I don't see a problem with a gun. That's my number one priority over everything is safety. I don't care how accurate you are. I don't care how good of a shot you are. I don't care what kind of gun you got, firearm, long gun, pistol, whatever. If you're not safe with it, you've lost my respect personally. Um, but I'll get more into that in the safety video. But this is Matt Dillon. I'm signing out, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, like I said, midway through this, like and subscribe. I'll be making more. You guys take care. You can do anything you put your mind to, guys. Matt Dillon, out.